Welcome back. Now I'll look at paper 41 from May-June 2023. And as always with any of these paper fours, well, we're going to need two things. One will be the source files, right, the text files. And of course, well, two is going to be the evidence document where, where you'd paste your answers, right, paste your screenshots. Now, if you don't have these, well, go to any past paper website and yeah, you should be able to easily find these. Right, okay, then, well, for the language, well, of course, we can use either Java, Python, or Visual Basic. Now, I mean, for this video, I'm going to use Java, although, well, I mean, if you've seen the other videos, then you'll know I'll also have the answers for both Python and Visual Basic, just on the side of the screen. Right, so the first part was just saying, how to save the file, and it's saying, right, there's going to be 3 source files, which, yeah, I guess, I mean, this is not really important because, like when we need them, right, they'll tell us again. Right, then it says a class declaration can be used to declare a record, and a list is an alternative to an array. So I guess this is really for Python, right? Because I mean, in Python, I guess they're called a list, right, rather than an array. And yeah, I guess the behavior is, a little bit different. Okay, I mean, well, for an example, like an array is going to be fixed size, whereas yeah, a list you can have things like append, right? Just adding new elements to it. Anyway, then, so number 1, a program reads data from a file and searches for specific data. The main program needs to read 25 integer data items from the text file data.txt into a local 1D array data array. Write program code to declare the local array data array. Alright, so yeah, let's just go here then, and well, since this is local, let's just go main. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's go, well, int array, it's called data array, and then this is going to be what, a new int array, and well, 25 elements. So yeah, that should be okay. Right, then amend the program to read the contents data.txt into data array. Alright, and then, I mean, so here, right, we don't actually need a procedure. Again, it says, well, just do it directly in the main program. So in order to read, well, let's go, right, buffered reader, then just go br. Right, then if we go, well, new buffered reader, right, inside here, well, this takes a file reader, as a parameter, right, in the constructor. Right, then the file reader, well, this takes the file name. So I think the file name was data.txt. Right, here it's going to tell us, well, we need to surround this with a try catch. So let's just go more actions, right, surround with try catch. And of course, if the file is not found, right, it's going to throw this exception. Right, so then what we want to do, well, of course, we just want to read, right, element by element into this array. And I guess if we look at data, we see what, there's 25 lines. Right, so what we can do then, well, let's go string, let's just call this line, and yeah, we can just set that to an empty string. And then similar to pseudocode, kind of like, the while not end of file. In this case, what we're going to go, well, line is equal to, br.readline. And then, well, basically, we're just going to keep reading while this is not equal to null. And then right here, it's also going to say we need to add a catch clause. Right, so let's just do that. Right, so here then, well, of course, right, I mean, here it's gonna sort of have the line contents at this point. Now, I guess what we're also going to need to do, well, we're going to need to create an integer, and right, this can be an index to the array. Now, of course, right, this is going to start at index 0, since arrays are, 0 based. And then what we're going to want to do, well, we're just going to want to copy, I guess what we're going to assign this line into the data array. But of course, well, we also have to convert it to an integer. Right, so let's go, data array, right, that's going to be at this index. And then I think to convert from an integer to a string, from a string to an integer, we can use this, integer parse int. And I mean, if you just see, right, it says, like, it's going to take a string as input, right, then it's going to return an integer. And I guess we can also use the radix. So the radix just means the base, like base 2, base 10, right, base 16. So I've not tried that, but presumably this will also work for, binary, hexadecimal, kind of etc. Alright, so here then, well, that's just going to be line. And then what we just want to increment the index. And then I think that should be fine, right? Then if we just go, well, br.close. Now, I'm just going to test this, so let's just go s out. Then if we want to output the array, well, let's go, arrays to string. And, right, this is going to be, data array. So yeah, let's try and run this, and hopefully we should have all of the elements in this array. So we can see, right, this seems to be working, and let's just check. So is the first element 10? So 10, 4, 5, and then we see what, 22 and 0 at the end. So yeah, that seems okay. Alright, so right, so well, then we need to create this procedure print array, takes an integer array as a parameter, and outputs the contents of the array in the order they're stored. Right, the items are printed on the same line, so yeah, for example, like this. Right, okay, so yeah, let's just go and do that then. And you know, to be honest, I mean, well, of course, like we could just use this, but I think really they're going to want us to actually, you know, implement this ourselves. And well, yeah, I guess, you know, if we did do this, well, of course, we could just go replace. And right, let's just replace this one, and we'll just replace it with nothing. And again, then of course we can replace this closing square bracket. And yeah, just replace that with nothing as well. And I mean, well, this should just work. And I suppose, yeah, I mean, what we could also just replace the comma as well. Yeah, or well, here, right, let's go replace all. And then, right, we want to replace the comma, and again, just replace that with an empty string. Yeah, okay, so I mean, I think that's working. But of course, I mean, well, I think here, right, yeah, of course, they want us to do this ourselves. Right, so let's just go print array. And then here, since we've not created it, well then IntelliJ should just, yeah, okay, let's go create method. And I think here, I mean, let's just make it public. Right, and then I suppose actually I should have put a parameter here. Right, so let's go, this is going to be data array. And then, yeah, probably here, yeah, let's just do this one. Okay, so I mean, again, right here, IntelliJ is quite good, you know, it can do it for us. Of course, it's saying, well, right now this print array is taken by an int data array. Yeah, I'm just going to call that like ARR. Right, I think that's fine. Right, then what I'm going to do, so, well, let's just loop and let's go int x. This can be 0, so of course this is just index. Then we want to go until x is, yeah, it's going to be array.length. Yeah, okay, so I guess what we're looping while x is, yeah, less than the array length. Right, then of course we just go ++, and then here, well, we just want to get s out. But rather than print line, okay, we're just going to have print. And then right, if we just go array and let's go x, and then yeah, let's just have a space between them like this, right? And then yeah, this one should work. And okay, I mean yeah, let's just skip that. Yeah, sort of don't use that enhancement. Yeah, okay, so we see this is fine. Now you will notice that, I mean, it does actually give us this space at the end. Now in this case it doesn't really matter, but some cases, you know, you may actually not want that, especially for, I don't know, like let's say for example if we wanted to separate things with a comma. Now of course here, like, we're not going to want this trailing comma at the end. So let's just say the way we can get rid of that, well, we can just use an if statement, and we want to say what maybe if x is less than, and I think if we go probably array length -1. Right, so if it's less than this, well, yeah, then we can do this one. Right, else, well, let's just copy this and then just not have the comma. So yeah, let's just test it, and I think hopefully this should work. Yeah, okay, so we see this works, and of course, well, yeah, obviously in the exam, right, just have it as a space like that. Alright, so yeah, okay, right then, amend the main program to output the contents of data array using procedure print array. Right, so I think we've done that. Right then, just test, right, take a screenshot, so of course, yeah, do that, and then paste it in the evidence document. Right, the function linear search takes an integer array and integer search value as parameters. It counts and returns the number of times the search value is found in the array. Right, and we want to write program code for linear search. Okay. So yeah, maybe let's just copy this, although, I mean, this one shouldn't be too difficult either. I mean, like, not, hang on. It's in, like, not too difficult to remember what we have to do. But yeah, I mean, just to, you know, get the parameters in the right order. So I guess, well, the first parameter then is going to be the integer array. So let's go, well, public static. Right, this is going to be int, well, it's going to return an integer. Right, it's going to be called linear search. And again, let's just say int array, and let's go maybe int, I don't know, like search value, or yeah, to find. I think search value is okay. Right, so if we want to, you know, return a count of how many times it exists, well, then of course we're going to need some count variable. Right, let's just initialize that to 0. And then, to be honest, actually, I'm just going to copy this because, well, it's just the same one. Right, and then, okay, right, so, yeah, right, okay, well, then what we want to do, we just want to check if it's equal to the search value. So here it's going to be array index x, right, if this is equal to the search value. Right, then what we want to do, well, just, yeah, count ++. Right, that should be fine. Then if we just go return count, yeah, so I think that should hopefully be working. And then I think the last one is probably just to test it. Yeah, okay, so alright, well here we want to amend the main param to prompt the user to input a whole number between 0 and 100 inclusive. We want to read and validate the input from the user, right? Call linear search with data array, right, and the validated input value, right? Then output the result in the format, right? The number of 7 is found 2 times. Right, so yeah, let's copy this then. And right here, then we just want to go to the main program. Right, so do we need to call this print array? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, so I guess, I mean, probably like, let's keep this print array, and then I think after the print array, okay, then we can, yeah, I think then, right, let's, yeah, okay, I meant like maybe do it under here. Right, so let's go scanner then, and, well, yeah, let's go, I don't know, SC or scanner. Right, and then, well, this is going to be new scanner, right, then system in is going to be the parameter. Right, and then I guess, well, right, okay, well, since we want to validate, I mean, let's actually just create a variable, and, I mean, I don't know, well, let's call it user input. Yeah, so I think that's fine, and then, well, let's have a post-conditional loop. So what we're going to loop while the, okay, so what, let's go while user input is, what, less than 0, yeah, or user input is greater than 100. And then here, well, let's get S out. Right, let's say, yeah, I don't know, maybe enter number to search for. Right, and then, right, let's go user input, and this is going to be, hang on, right, that's equal to what, scanner, yeah, dot next int. Yeah, and that, I mean, that should be okay. Like, maybe there's going to be an error where if we have sort of a new line character, yeah, maybe it's actually not going to sort of read the next integer, sort of, yeah, on the, well, I guess, yeah, on the next iteration. I mean, I'm going to test that in a minute. Right, okay, so, yeah, I think that's okay. And, well, let's say here, right, I don't know, yeah, 0, yeah, say 0 to 100, right, that should be fine. Right, then we want to call linear search. So, right, and well, here we also want to output the result in this format. So to be honest, like, I mean, we could just do S out all in one go, right? Where we say, let's say, right, the number, and then what that's going to be user input. Let's go, yeah, is found, right, and then here is where we call linear search. Right, and then this is going to be what the data array, and this is going to be the user input. And then, yeah, just say times like that. Alright, so I think, I mean, hopefully this will work. Yeah, let's just test it. And in fact, well, let's have a look at some of the numbers they've got. So let's try, I mean, for example, 4. Yeah, so I think, well, 4 occurs 3 times. But what I'm going to do, well, let's try something invalid first. Let's try, like, -5. Yeah, okay, alright, so that's fine. Right, I mean, let's try, I know, like 101. Okay, yeah, it's saying again. Right, let's try 4 then. Yeah, okay, right, the number 4 is found 3 times. And it seems that this is working, right, just calling next int. Yeah, it's able to do this correctly. Right, and then, well, okay, right, let's try 7, and, right, let's also try 12. Yeah, since that's the 2 examples that you give. Right, so if we go 7, yeah, I mean, 2 times, which, I mean, that's what it says in the example. Let's just validate that's correct. So I think here, what, 21 and 22. Right, and then, well, let's try 12. And alright, 12 is found 4 times, and I guess, well, we can just do a control F. Yeah, so here we get, what, 4 times, yeah, if we look here. Alright, so I think this one's fine. Then question 2, a computer game is being designed that will include different vehicles. A prototype for the game is being developed using object-oriented programming. Okay, the class vehicle stores data about the vehicles. Each vehicle has an identification name, a maximum speed, a current speed, and a horizontal position. The value increase amount is added to the current speed each time the vehicle increases its speed. Right, okay, so here then, well, we see, right, we've got an ID, yeah, we've got the max speed, right, current speed, increase amount, and horizontal position. Well, I guess, yeah, these 4 are all going to be integers. Yeah, and then I guess, I mean, well, the thing to note, right, so increase amount, this stores the amount that current speed increases by. So let's say, well, of course, if this is 5, and let's say the current speed is 0, well then if we call increase speed once, right, now we say what the current speed is therefore going to be 5. If we call increase speed again, well of course the current speed is now going to be 10, right, yeah, call it again, you know, it's going to be 15, right, yeah, obviously just etc. Right, okay, well then constructor, that's going to initialize, well, the ID, max speed and increase amount to the parameter values, and it's going to initialize the current speed and horizontal position to 0. Alright, so I guess, yeah, just the start of the game. Right then, well, there's also a getter for the speed, yeah, I guess, the increase amount, horizontal position, and max speed. Right, likewise, 2 setters. And again, right, if we look at this, it doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, I guess there's sort of no validation at the moment, right, although, yeah, maybe they'll tell us later. Right, and then we'll increase speed, so it's going to calculate and store the new speed and horizontal position of the vehicle. Okay, so A then, right, we want to write program code to declare the class vehicle. All attributes must be private. You only need to declare the class and its constructor, do not declare any other methods. Right, okay. So hang on then. Yeah, let's just, let's just copy this. Right, and so what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to make a new, yeah, let's make a new file, right, new class, and this is what called vehicle. Right, okay, and then, yeah, well, let's see if I can do this, or maybe I need to go back and copy some more stuff. Right, so yeah, so these are all going to be private, so I guess what ID, that's going to be a string. And then the next one was, I think they were all just integers, right, and like, is this the correct order? So yeah, max speed, current speed, increase amount, horizontal position. Yeah, okay, so I think that's the same, yeah, okay, right, that's the same order they have. No, okay, alright, so it's not the same order. Alright, so let's go int. Right, I think the first one was max speed. Wait, what's the next one? Alright, so current speed, increase amount, horizontal position. Right, current speed, yeah, increase amount. Alright, and then, yeah, horizontal position. Right, that should be fine. And then, again, you know, to be honest, well, of course, what we can do, well, if we want to create the constructor ourselves, well, we're going to go public vehicle. And then, for example, well, let's go string, or let's say ID. Right, then we go int, and well, again, I'm going to use lowercase just so I can differentiate between, yeah, the class variable, right, or the class attribute, yeah, and the parameter. Right, then we want to go what current speed. Hang on. Yeah, then increase amount, all right, and then well, horizontal position. And well, then of course we can assign them like this, right? So well, here then we want to use capitals since we're referring to the yeah, class attribute, right, or class variable. So we say well, ID is going to be equal to ID, right? Then max speed is going to be equal to well, the parameter max speed. Right, and then we're here, right, increase amount, that's equal to yeah, this parameter increase amount. Right there, well then if we look at the other ones, and I guess actually if we're just setting these to 0, then yeah, we actually don't need these as parameters. Right, so yeah, let's just delete those. Right, so here then, right, let's go current speed, that's going to be 0, and yeah, horizontal position, alright, that's also 0. Right, that should be fine. Now, of course, like, well, yeah, well, of course, you know, we can also use IntelliJ just to, yeah, generate these. And well, like, I mean, likewise, right, if you're using PyCharm, right, if you're using, say, I don't know, maybe like Visual Studio, right, probably if you, yeah, if you're doing VB. Right, so let's go construct, and then what in this case we only want, I think what the ID, the max speed, and yeah, the increase amount. Right, then of course go okay. Yeah, of course, well here that's just going to generate these. To be honest, I'm not sure why it's done, you know, capital I for that. Yeah, so well, of course, you know, you can do this, right, but then you'd also have to add these two. So anyway, well, I'm just going to use, hang on, yeah, what have I done there? Right, I'm just going to use this one, and then of course, well, I'll delete this auto-generated one. But well, yeah, of course, you know, I mean, generating them, that can save you a lot of time, right? Although, well, I mean, once you do generate them, well, I guess, yeah, you have to check it's correct. You know, don't just assume it's correct. Right then, write program code for the methods, well, get current speed, get increase amount, get max speed, and get horizontal position. Alright, so what I'm going to do then, well, I'm going to write one of them, and then, well, then I'll generate the other three. So let's go, I guess, well, I think we need max speed, right? Yeah, okay. So right, well let's go yeah, get max speed, and well actually here it's just going to do it for us. Yeah, although right, I'm going to use a capital letter, right, same as what they do right in the question. And then to be honest, like, well yeah, can we just do this? So like get current? No, okay, that's not going to work. Right, so let's go what public int. Right, that's going to be get current speed. And then what here we're just going to well return the current speed, and then yeah, I think these next two then well let's just generate these last two. Right, so here then we want to go getters, and what this is going to be the increase amount and horizontal position. And right, let's just capitalize this get. Yeah, just to keep it, you know, the same name as they have for it in the question. Alright, and then so here then we want to write program code for these setters, right? So set current speed, set horizontal position. So a setter, what? Let's go. Right, yeah, public void. Right, and then this is. Yeah, I think for me I always forget what they say, right? So okay, current speed, horizontal position. Right, okay, set current speed, and then well here we're going to need a variable. So yeah, let's say current speed, and then well similar to what we did in the constructor, we just want to go current speed is equal what to this parameter. And again, of course, right, this is the class instance. So yeah, that's going to be well, you know, this current speed here. Whereas of course, yeah, this is going to be the parameter. Alright, and then well let's just generate the next one. So let's go yeah, generate setter, and this is for I think horizontal position. And again, right, let's just yeah, capitalize that. And again, you know, make sure it looks okay. So yeah, in horizontal position, and yeah, just setting the class attribute. Right, so the method increase speed is going to add increase amount to the current speed, and then it will add the updated current speed to the horizontal position. Right, the current speed of a vehicle cannot exceed its maximum speed. Alright, so I guess probably what we can do for this is, well, if we just add it, and then after we've added it, we can have an if statement where we say, well, if current speed is greater than max speed, then we're just going to, you know, well, okay, we're just going to set current speed, right, to be equal to the max speed. Yeah, just to, you know, not allow it, yeah, I guess not allow it to exceed that. Right, so, well, here then, okay, right, public. Right, so public, and this is, yeah, was it, wait, increase, I don't know, like increase speed? Yeah, okay, increase speed. And yeah, let's actually just go void, right, so public void increase speed. Right, so this is, okay, so I guess increase amount, that's going to be, yeah, this one here. Right, so here then it's actually not taking any parameters. Right, what we want to do, we want to, yeah, I guess we want to set the current speed equal to be what the current speed plus the, yeah, plus the increase amount. Right, we're then going to add the current speed to the horizontal position. But I guess, well, before we do that, we just need to check that it's not exceeded the maximum. So let's just do that, right? We'll say, well, if current speed is greater than the max speed. Right, then what we want to do, well, we want to set current speed as being equal to the max speed. Because if we think about this, well, let's say, for, I don't know, like the max speed is 100, and let's say their current speed is, you know, 105, right, you know, after we've done this increase amount. Well, then, of course, yeah, this is true, right, so 105 is bigger than 100. And then what we're going to do here as well, of course, right, we're going to assign this 100 to be the current speed. Yeah, therefore, we're just, what, reducing it from 105, right, yeah, you know, back down to the max speed, right, which is 100. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. Right, and then we just want to, right, okay, we want to add that to the horizontal position. And that's going to be what, plus current speed. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, as well as this if statement, I mean, there is actually another way we can do that. And we can go, and well, I mean, to be honest, actually, we can do it here, like, all on the first line. So what we can use, well, math.min, and if we have this, and then, right, so, because, well, I mean, min is going to take two parameters, and it's going to get the, you know, it's going to get the smallest out of those parameters. And then right here we can go max speed like this. So again, let's say, well, if the current speed plus the increase amount equals, you know, 105, right, but the max speed is 100, well, then this min, right, is going to get the minimum right out of these two values. And of course, in this case, what this max speed would be the minimum. Yeah, therefore, of course, well, it's just going to, you know, set this to be 100. Yeah, but I think, you know, I'm just going to do it using the if statement, because, well, probably that's how they've done it, you know, in the mark scheme. Yeah, just keep it simple, really. All right, so yeah, that should be okay. I mean, like, maybe let's just test this, you know, before we start like copying and pasting and making new classes. Yeah, I think I'm going to test it, right, just to make sure it's working. Right, so let's go here, then main, and well, let's go vehicle, and I don't know, let's just call it car, right, so that's going to be, right, new vehicle, right, and then, yeah, what are the parameters here to this? Right, okay, so ID, I mean, I guess what ID, let's call it car, right, let's say the max speed is, I don't know, 20, and then what this will be the increase amount, probably. Yeah, okay, increase amount, so for example, let's just say 10, so, I mean, well, yeah, okay, let's say 8, for example. So, for example, what this should go 8, right? Then it will go 16. Then it will just be capped at 20. Yeah, like if this is working properly. Right, so let's call increase speed a couple of times. And what I'm going to do, let's also just S out. So we want to go car. And yeah, I guess we'll get current speed. And then, hang on. Yeah, well, let's just try 3 times. So again, what should say 8, right? Yeah, then it should say, what, 16, right? Then 20. And then I guess, if we call it one more time, well, of course, it should be capped at 20. Yeah, okay, right, so yeah, 8, 16, right, and then 2 20s. Right, so yeah, I think that's okay. And then, well, I'm probably going to keep it there since they probably want us to do that at some point. Right, so the child class helicopter inherits from the parent class vehicle. A helicopter also has a vertical position and changes the vertical position when it increases speed. Right, so here then, well, we said, yeah, it's got vertical position, right, vertical change, and also max height. Right, then the constructor, well, takes the ID, max speed, right, increase amount, vertical change, and maximum height as parameters. Right, it's going to initialize the vertical position to 0. Right, then this is what a getter for the vertical position, and again increase speed. But this time, this increased speed is going to have to override the increased speed, you know, in the vehicle class or in the child class, yeah, in the base class. And this time we're going to change what the current speed, right, but also the horizontal, which I guess we've done already, and I suppose, right, also, yeah, the vertical position. Right, but first we just want to write program code to declare the class helicopter. Right, you only need to declare the class and its constructor. You do not need to declare the other methods. Right, okay, so yeah, well, right, let's just copy this then. And right, let's just go ahead and make a new class. So right, yeah, Java class. Let's go helicopter. Right here, we want to say extends, and this is going to extend vehicle. And yeah, let's just zoom in. Right, well, I mean, here it's going to say that we need to, I guess we need to create a constructor. So let's just do this, right, create constructor matching super. Because, like, honestly, yeah, I think otherwise I'd make a mistake about, you know, getting the wrong, I guess, you know, getting these wrong ones. Although, of course, you can just go to vehicle and, yeah, you could just, you know, copy these parameters here, right? Of course, it's going to be the same order. Right, but we say, well, this one also wants some additional parameters. So I guess is it going to be vertical change and max height? So yeah, let's go, I guess, well, yeah, vertical change. Right, let's look at, right, int, this will be max height. And then right here, I mean, we do also want to, yeah, declare these attributes as well. So, right, this is going to be what, vertical change, right, max height. And again, right, let's say, yeah, let's make sure just to say they're integers. Right, then I think there was another one, right, probably vertical speed. Okay, alright, okay, vertical position. Alright, so that should be fine. Right, so it takes the ID, max speed, increase amount, vertical change, and max height. Yeah, so, okay, we've got those. Right, it's going to initialize the vertical position to 0. Right, okay, and then what I guess here then we just want to assign these. So, right, let's go vertical change, and that's going to be equal, what to, of course, yeah, this parameter vertical change. Right, then the max height, well, that's going to be, right, of course, again, the, yeah, parameter max height. Yeah, that should be fine, and, like, is it just saying we're not using these probably? Yeah, right, assigned but never accessed, so, well, let's just ignore that, since, of course, but, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to use them in a minute. Right then, okay, the helicopter method increase speed overrides the method from the parent class. It's going to add the amount of vertical change to the vertical position. Then it will also add the increase amount to the current speed. Right, and it's going to add the updated current speed to the horizontal position. So I think, I mean, wait, these two were just the same, right? So they were the same as we did for the vehicle. Let's just have a look. Yeah, okay, right, so I mean, this is the same as what we did to the vehicle. Right, therefore, what we can actually do then, well, we can just call the super, yeah, we can call what the, super increase speed, yeah, just to do these two. And then I guess here, like, this is going to be the only new one. But again, it says what the vertical position of a helicopter cannot exceed its maximum height. And likewise, what the current speed of a helicopter cannot exceed its maximum speed. But of course, well, this one we've already done, right, in the, in the base class, in the super class. Therefore, as long as we call the relevant, base class or super class method, then we're actually not going to have to do what these two, right, and also, yeah, this one, because, well, again, they've been done already. Right, okay, so, yeah, let's try and do this then. So, well, let's go public. Right, this is going to be what, void. Right, let's go increase speed. And then I think what this has no parameters. Yeah, because I guess we're just increasing by this vertical change. Right, so what we want to do, I mean, okay, right, yeah. So I guess, I mean, similar to what we did before, right, we just want to go, hang on. Right, okay, so what the vertical position, and I think, alright, well, this time let's use this math.min, although, yeah, in the exam I would say maybe just use an if statement. Right, so what's going to be with the vertical position, right, plus the vertical change. Right, and then, yeah, I guess, well, we then want to use max height. So again, right, if this is bigger than max height, well, then of course it is just going to set this as being max height. Right, so of course, yeah, well, again, it's going to take the minimum, right, out of those two values. Yeah, that should be fine. And then I think here, well, let's just call, yeah, the super increase speed. Yeah, and I guess, well, I mean, this one we could do it first, we could do it after, it doesn't really matter. Maybe let's just do it first like that. Yeah, so I think generally, if you have a super, yeah, maybe it makes sense to, put that at the start. Yeah, I mean, so I think that should work. And then, right, so here then a procedure needs to output the horizontal position and speed of a vehicle. Right, if the vehicle is a helicopter, it also outputs the vertical position. Right, all outputs must include right, appropriate messages. Write program code for this procedure. Right, so I mean, I think here we can probably just override the toString. Yeah, so I think let's just do that. And probably first let's do it in vehicle, and then probably the vehicle one we can then copy and then just modify for the helicopter. And yeah, okay, well, let's just generate this. So what do we want? We want the horizontal position and speed. Right, okay, so yeah, let's, right, okay, well, I think it's going to be the current speed and horizontal position. Right, let's go OK. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, like, do we also need the ID? I mean, I guess we don't necessarily need the ID, although, yeah, maybe it's good to just output that as well. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to do this, right, let's say vehicle, right, and then we go, what, plus ID. And then, yeah, I'm just going to sort of move these all onto one line, right, it's going to be easier. Right, let's say it has a, right, current speed of, right, so current speed of, yeah, plus current speed. And let's say, yeah, and a, right, horizontal position of, yeah, just, formatting this. Right, horizontal position of, and then, well, yeah, plus horizontal position. And then, yeah, that should be okay. Right, and then what I'm going to do, well, let's just copy this, and then we'll paste it in the helicopter class. Right, and then, okay, so I guess what this is going to have to be, well, super.id. Oh, no, okay, right, since that's private. Alright, okay, well, here, yeah, we don't have an ID. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a getter, right, just for the get ID. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really tell us to do this, but I think it's fine, to add our own methods. Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't really, deduct marks, right, for adding extra methods. Right, so, yeah, let's go get ID, right, has a current speed of, and then, I mean, well, we should have, yeah, we should have get current speed. Right, and a horizontal position of, so what, super, yeah, get horizontal position. Right, and then we also need, yeah, okay, alright, let's go, yeah, and a vertical position of, and then, yeah, just output that. Right, let's say, yeah, and, right, and a vertical, right, position of, and then well, that's just going to be, okay, right, so well, we don't have this get vertical position, but I mean, I guess here what we can just, yeah, let's just directly output, or yeah, kind of directly use the attribute, right? I think we don't really need a getter. Alright, so what's it saying here? There's, yeah, I don't know, right, I think that should be fine. Right, then the main program needs to instantiate a car as a new vehicle with the ID of Tiger, right, a maximum speed of 100, right, increase amount 20, right, then a helicopter called Lion, right, max speed of 350, increase amount of 40, yeah, vertical change of 3, right, maximum height 100. Right, then we call increase speed twice for the car, and then call output procedure from, well, part, yeah, 2C for the car. Right, then call increase speed twice for the helicopter, right, and then, yeah, call the output procedure, right, part, okay, for the helicopter. Alright, so, yeah, let's just copy all of this. Right, okay, then what we can do, so, right, that's going to be here, then question 2. So I guess, I mean, well, this car we've kind of done already, so let's just copy that. Right, and then, so here what it's going to be called, okay, it's going to be called Tiger. Right, maximum speed is, well, 100. Right, increase amount of 20. Right, let's just copy that. And here, well, let's go, right, helicopter. Right, and then, okay. Right, so instantiate a new car as a new vehicle with the ID Tiger. Yeah, I mean, I think, well, maybe let's just call this Tiger as well. And then I guess the helicopter, well, let's just call it Lion. Because I think they actually don't, I think they don't tell us the identifier to use. Yeah, okay, so I think that's fine. I mean, we can really use any identifier. Right, so here, let's go Lion. Right, the max speed. Right, so max speed is 350. Right, increase amount is 40. Right, vertical change 3 and max height of 100. And yeah, of course, right, make sure that it's the correct parameters. So yeah, vertical change, right there, max height. Yeah, make sure we, didn't put them in the wrong order, for example. Right, so then we're going to call increase speed twice for the car, right, then call output procedure. So, right, let's go Tiger, right, increase speed. And yeah, let's just copy that again. Right, and then Tiger, and well, okay, so actually, yeah, I think maybe let's not do the toString, because I think we also want to output, right? We don't just want to return. Yeah, so all right, let's go public void, and we'll just go, I don't know, maybe output. I know, yeah, output details. I think that should be okay. Right, then rather than returning, well, let's just have an S out. Yeah, so I think that should be fine. All right, and then, well, let's delete that override. Right, and then, well, let's also do that here then for this one. Right, so public void, yeah, again, we'll output details. And I suppose, well, actually, yeah, okay, I mean, this one we can have the override annotation. Now, I think technically, actually, this override doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, basically just for sort of readability, right, and also for, yeah, kind of like auto-generating documentation. But, like, I mean, even if we delete this, right, it's still going to override. So, yeah, I mean, it's not really required. Alright, so I think that's okay. Yeah, then if we just call this, so let's go Tiger, right, and then, yeah, output details. Right, then we want to, yeah, do the same, right, so twice for the helicopter, alright, and then, yeah, call that for the helicopter. So let's just copy those, and, right, this Tiger, well, it's just going to be Lion, hang on, and then, yeah, just paste it here, right, paste it here. And, yeah, I think, well, alright, let's just run this, see if it works. Alright, so vehicle Tiger has a current speed of 40 and horizontal position of 60. I mean, right, is that right? So I guess what it's going to start at 0. That's going to be the position, right? Then if we increase by 20, well then of course, right, it's going to move to position 20. Right, then if we call it again, well, I mean, well, currently the current speed is 20, right? But of course, well, then we go, I mean, it's kind of like this, right? So yeah, 20 plus 20, effectively. So yeah, I mean, of course, right, this is going to be 60. So yeah, I think that's fine, because well, if we see here, right, horizontal speed of, yeah, horizontal position of 60, and of course, well, yeah, the I guess what the current speed is just going to be 40, right, which is this one. And then, well, let's see the Yeah, alright, so actually let's, like, probably let's just change this, so rather than saying vehicle, probably we can just go here and we can probably just say helicopter. I mean, like, well, again, I mean, I'm not going to run it again, but of course, yeah, it's just going to change this vehicle to be helicopter. Right, it has a current speed of 80. Yeah, okay. So hang on, well, let's have a look if that's correct. Right, so of course, well, currently it's starting at 0. Well, yeah, if we call increase amount twice, right, that's going to be 80 because, well, 40 plus 40. Right, horizontal position for 120. Well, again, yeah, that's true because what we have 40 is the first time, then yeah, 80 is the second time. So yeah, 40 plus 80, right, 120. Right, then a vertical position of 6. Then the last question, a program implements 2 stacks using 1D arrays. One stack stores the names of colors, one stack stores the names of animals. The program contains the following global arrays and variables. Right, 1D array animal to store the names of up to 20 animals. Right, 1D array color, well, to store up to 10 colors. Right, animal top pointer, which points to the next free space in the animal array. Right, that's initialized to 0. And then, well, likewise the same, right, but for the color top pointer. Right, so write program code to declare the global arrays and variables. Right, so let's just copy this then, just so I don't forget the names. Right, and then here, well, let's go, right, question 3. And yeah, let's just zoom in a bit. Right, okay, so, yeah, right, let's just comment those out. So the first one then, well, 1D array animals. And right, I mean, since these are names, well, it's going to be a string array. Right, so let's go animal, and I suppose, I mean, since it's global, right, let's just go static as well. Right, so well, static string array animal, okay, then let's go, what new string array, and what size of 20. Right, I'm going to copy this because, well, it's going to be basically the same for color. So, of course, what, just a string array, and then what, that's just going to be 10. Right, and then if we say here, well, so it's going to be static int, right, animal top pointer. Right, that's going to be equal to 0, and then, yeah, let's do the next one, right, static int, right, color top pointer. And again, right, just initialize that to 0. Right, then we want to study the pseudocode for function push animal. So, right, it's going to take, well, data to push as a string, and it's going to return a boolean. Right, so if the animal top pointer equals 20, so of course this means, well, if it's full, right, then it's going to return false. Right, whereas, well, I guess, yeah, else if it's not full. Right, then it's going to, so I guess where this animal top pointer, this was the next available position. So it's just going to, yeah, of course, push the data, right, you know, in the array at this next available position. Right, then we're just going to increment top pointer. So yeah, here, you know, just so of course, yeah, I guess, you know, for the next time, right, it's going to be pointing to the next position. Yeah, or of course, if it's equal to 20, right, well, of course, right, then it's going to indicate that it's full. Right, then it's just going to return true, right, since that was successful. Right, so I'm just going to demonstrate that quickly. I mean, like, hopefully people can understand that pseudocode. But yeah, I'm just going to sort of, hopefully I'll do it in about 1 minute. So let's just create an array of like 3 elements, or a stack with 3 elements. So, well, of course, right, currently the top pointer is here, right, just pointing to element 0, right? I mean, since it says we initialize to 0. Right, then, of course, well, if we push something, let's say A, well, then what's going to happen? So, well, of course, right, I mean, first we're going to push, yeah, we're going to push A right at the sort of index, yeah, that this top pointer points to. Right, then after we've pushed, or yeah, after we've, you know, inserted that position, right, of course, well, then we move this pointer up, right, so yeah, like now the pointer is pointing to this one. Of course, well, yeah, then we're going to push B, right, of course, well, then we move the pointer up, right, then let's say we push C, right, so, well, now then once we push C, we see what T is going to be pointing to this, you know, this position, and if we think, well, here, of course, you know, since we're using 0-based arrays, then we're saying what T is going to be the size of the array, because what if we see, well, here the array has, you know, 3 elements. So yeah, when we say when T is equal to the size of the array, well, that means it's full. And of course, when T is equal to 0, so yeah, like in this position, of course, well, that means the array is empty. And yeah, probably equal to 0 we'll have to use, right, when we do the pop, the pop method. Alright, so yeah, I think, well, what I'm going to do then, I mean, or to be honest, like, maybe I'll just copy it because, yeah, it's probably not that, it's probably easier to do this, right, rather than just split screening. Okay, so And yeah, right, let's just comment this. Right, so here then, well, function, let's go public, and right, it's going to be what, Boolean? In fact, well, let's go static, right, since we're going to have to call it from the main. Right, so our public static Boolean, right, push animal. Right, this takes, well, string, right, data to push as the parameter. Right here then, so, well, if the animal top pointer, right, is equal to 20, right, well, then we just want to return false. Right, else what we're going to do, so, yeah, I guess we'll hang on, right, this is, yeah, hang on, wait, that's not copied across, okay, so it's going to be data to push. Right, so else we want to go, right, okay, so, well, we get the array, right, at this index animal top pointer, right, then we just assign it the data to push. Yeah, well, then we just increment the animal top pointer. Right, then we just return true. Yeah, so I think that's correct. Yeah, I suggest, yeah, 3 statements right inside here. Well, I mean, so well, I guess we can test that if we want. Yeah, let's just go here then, and let's just create a main method. Right, so let's go what, well, in fact, maybe let's get s out, right, we'll just go, yeah, push animal, and let's say, I don't know, like, cow. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know, let's go, yeah, cow, chicken, like dog or something. Alright, so yeah, let's go, what, chicken. Right, let's say pig. And I don't know, yeah, maybe horse, right, just farm animals. Now, what I'm going to do, like here, I'm just going to make this 3, right, just for testing. And of course, well, these first 3 should be successful, right, then, yeah, this horse, right, should be yeah, I guess unsuccessful. Right, and then also here, I'm also just going to print out the, yeah, let's go what, arrays to string, and let's just output animal. Right, and then let's also get s out, and we'll also get what the animal top pointer. So of course, what the top pointer should be 3, and of course, what this animal, well, yeah, I guess the animal stack, right, should just have what, yeah, cow as the first, right, then chicken, then pig. Right, so let's try this. Yeah, okay, so we got what, the first 3 are true, right, the last one is false, of course, well, false, right, that's when we try to insert the horse, and yeah, okay, right, so this seems to be okay. Right, so like, yeah, maybe let's just comment that, because, well, maybe they'll actually ask us to do something like this. Right, okay, so, well, then we have pop animal, right, so, yeah, okay, so what's this going to do? It's going to return a string, of course, what, just the top, the top element on the stack. So well, if the animal top pointer is 0, of course, if it's empty, well, then just return an empty string. Right, otherwise what they're going to do, okay, right, they're going to, okay, so right, they're going to get the animal, yeah, okay, well, they're going to get the animal, I guess the array, right, at the animal top pointer -1. So, of course, well, this just means the current element, right? Since animal top pointer points to the next element, right, well, I guess, yeah, the next available space. Right, if we do -1, well, right, this was, you know, the previous element that was inserted, or yeah, the previous element that was pushed. Right, then when we do that, well, then we just decrement this animal top pointer, right, then just, well, return, or yeah, you know, return the data that we've popped. Now, to be honest, actually, you could actually do this one first, right, and then, hang on, and then, like, rather than making this -1, right, then just use animal top pointer, you know, if you did this first. But, well, of course, I mean, here, well, let's just copy it directly. Yeah, don't really go, like, rearranging their logic. Right, so, yeah, let's just comment that again, and we'll just do the same, right? So, well, okay, not void, right? Hang on, yeah, public static, right? This is going to be string. Right, let's go pop animal. Right, then we say, what if the animal top pointer, right, is equal to 0? Right, then we're just going to, well, return an empty string. Right, then what else? Yeah, I guess what else if it's not? Yeah, if it's not, you know, 0, right? If it's not empty. Right, then we're just going to make a string variable. This is going to be return data. Right, and then that's going to be equal to what animal? Yeah, okay, hang on. Right, okay, yeah, this animal top pointer -1. Right, again, just getting the current element. Right, then we just, okay, right, yeah, then we just decrement this. Right, and then finally, well, just call, right, return data. Okay, so, right, let's actually just try this again then. And then I guess this time, well, rather, yeah, all right, and then I think I'll do it after here. So let's just have some, sort of separated characters like that. Right, let's get S out, and then we'll just go, what, pop animal. And let's try calling this, what, 4 times again. So of course, what, the first 3 times it should go, what, I guess, well, pig, right, then chicken, then cow. And of course, well, this 4th one should just be empty. Yeah, so I guess that's fine, and then, well, I guess, yeah, this one here is right where it's going to be empty. Alright, so yeah, that seems okay. Right, so the procedure read data, right, that's going to read the animal names from the file animal data.txt. It's going to use push animal to insert each name onto the stack and use appropriate exception handling if the file does not exist. Right, so this is kind of weird where they actually have files in both what question 1 and question 3. But yeah, let's just do this again then, right? So let's go, what, public static void. Now, if you want, you could probably copy a lot of your code, from question 1. Yeah, it's called, right, read data. But I think it's not going to take too long to do it again, right? So buffered reader, right, new buffered reader. Right here, what's new file reader, right, then it's going to be animal, yeah, I think animal data.txt. Right, again, let's just surround this with a try catch. Right, then, okay, so well, here then we just want to read each line, so let's go string, again, right, line, and that's going to be equal to, what, an empty, yeah, I guess an empty string. Right, as we've done before, well, I mean, yeah, let's read it while it's not empty, right, so what line is going to be equal to, what, br.readline, and yeah, do this while it's not equal to null. Again, it's going to tell us what we need to add to the catch clause. Right, and then here then what we want to do, so we want to call, what, push animal. And then, yeah, the thing we're pushing is going to be the line. Yeah, so I think that's okay, right? Then if we just, well, let's just make sure to close it. Right, is that all we need to do? So read the names, animal data, yeah, use push animal, right, use, yeah, appropriate exception handling if the file does not exist. Yeah, okay, so I think that's fine. And then, right, let's actually go back here then, and we'll make sure to change this back to 20. Yeah, hang on, right, let's just delete these comments. Right, and then, well, this one should also be 20. Okay, so, yeah, I'm probably just going to delete these now, to be honest. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Yeah, or in fact, well, yeah, okay, well, hang on, right, let's delete some of these. Right, so here then, what we want to call read data. So I guess, yeah, well, let's try read data, right, then let's just output it, and then let's just try popping, well, I guess the top 4 animals, right, see if that works. Okay, so, right, I guess here then there's actually not 20 animals, like, is that correct? Alright, yeah, so here there's only 8 animals, and yeah, of course, well, I mean, if we compare this file, right, I mean, we can see these have been, yeah, pushed correctly. And then, of course, well, when we're popping them, right, first, I mean, since what a stack is going to be, what, a last in, first out, right, or LIFO, yeah, LIFO data structure. Then, of course, what hamster is popped first, right, then elephant, then eagle, right, then rabbit. Yeah, so I think that's okay, and then, right, so the function push color performs the same as push animal, right, but inserts items into color. Right, likewise pop color, right, same as pop animal. Right, okay, so, well, let's just, yeah, copy these, and I think, try and do this one quickly. Right, so yeah, let's copy, right, both of these. And then, to be honest, right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do Control F, and okay, and then what we can do, I think, maybe, is this in selection? No. Alright, hang on, yeah, let's do replace. Alright, so let's say here then, well, we want to replace animal, and we're just going to replace this with color. But yeah, well, we want to do it just for this selection. So yeah, which one of these is going to be? Is it this one? Okay, so it seems to do that, and I need to click on this little filter, right, then go search in selection. Right, now you can see what it's only found 10 of them. Then if we just go replace all, and then, yeah, I mean, so does that seem like a push color? Yeah, color top pointer, right, color, yeah, I mean, so I think, right, I think that's just worked. Alright, and then, right, so amend the procedure read data so that it also reads the colors from our color data, right, uses push color, right, to insert each color onto the stack. Again, use appropriate exception handling if the file does not exist. Right, so again then, well, let's just copy this, and yeah, what I'm going to do, well, I'm just going to copy this try completely. Because, well, for example, we wouldn't want a situation where, let's say if this animal data fails, and then, well, then of course it's not even going to try the color data. So yeah, let's just try and do both of these. And again, I mean, well, of course we could do that same, you know, control and replace thing, but I think here there's only 2 of them anyway. Yeah, so that should be okay. Right then, the procedure output item pops the next item from both animal and color. It's going to output the color and animal on one line. Right, for example, black horse. Right, if there is no data in color, then the animal is pushed back onto animal. Right, no color is output. Right, if there is no data in animal, right, the color is pushed back onto color, right, and no animal is output. Okay, so right, okay, so I think what we want to do then, well, of course, what we can pop both of them. Then I guess we're going to need 2 different if statements. Yeah, because like otherwise, well, you might have a situation where, let's say, like if both of them fail, right? If we do an if else, let's say, yeah, I know, like if, I don't know, okay, well, let's say, right, if the color failed, then if pop color failed, well, you know, then we like push, I guess, yeah, we push animal back. But you know, if we have an else if, now let's say if the animal also failed, well, because it's an else if, right, of course it's only going to do the first one, right? That's why I think we want to make them 2 different if statements. Yeah, okay, so I think that should be okay. But then, like in this case, I mean, maybe we're going to need a flag as well. Yeah, just to kind of check, you know, whether they were successful or, you know, unsuccessful. Right, so let's go here then. Right, so public void, yeah, is it output item? Yeah, okay. Right, so here, I mean, let's go what string, or in fact, well, it's not going to be a string. Yeah, okay, right, so yeah, I guess it is going to be a string. Right, let's go string, well, let's say animal. Right, yeah, although the thing is, right, the array, okay, yeah, I mean, so the array is also called animal, right, therefore, or maybe it's going to be a bit confusing. Right, let's go, I don't know, animal string, or yeah, animal item. Yeah, I think animal string is okay. So here then, right, that's going to be pop animal. Right, this one, well, this is going to be what, color string, that's going to be pop color. Right, and yeah, let's actually just paste the instructions here as well. Right, I think, well, let's check the first one then. So we check what if color string, right, if that is equal to, well, I guess just empty. Right, then what we want to do, yeah, but I guess, I mean, see, we only want to, okay, I mean, so, right, we're only going to want to push animal back, right, if animal is not equal to an empty string. Because if this is, I mean, if this is also empty, then, of course, what we'll be pushing back an empty string. So, yeah, let's just check this, right, so, yeah, right, what if animal string, right, dot equals empty, and let's make this false. Right, okay, so if it's not empty, what then we would just want to go push animal, right, and then that's going to be animal string. Yeah, okay, and then, well, let's go here then. Or, alright, okay, so I think what I'm going to do, so I'm going to have an if, and this will be if they're both successful. Because I think otherwise it's going to get a bit complex, right? We're going to need, yeah, probably we're going to need too many. Right, so let's go, what if color string, right, dot equals, let's go empty string one again, right, let's make this not equal. So yeah, if the color string is not equal to, well, just, you know, nothing, right, yeah, and if the animal string is not equal to nothing, well, of course, right, this means it's successful. And then I think here, right, then let's have an else, right, and then inside this else, well, that's where we can have these ifs. Right, so let's just copy this. And then this one, what this will be if animal string is empty. Right, if animal string is empty, and what, yeah, and I guess, well, let's also check, right, if color string is not empty. Right, then we want to go, what, push color. Right, that's going to be the color string. Right, and we also want to output no color. Okay, so yeah, let's get S out, right, and we'll go no color. And I guess here, what, just, well, no animal. Yeah, I mean, right, is that all we need to do, right? So if there is no data in color, then the animal is pushed back onto animal. So yeah, what if the color is empty, right, and the animal is not empty, right, push animal. Yeah, so I think that's okay. Yeah, right, then no color is output. Yeah, I guess what, no data in animal. Yeah, okay, so I think that's okay. And I guess here what we're just going to output this probably. So we're going to go what color string, then I think it was a space. Right then it was going to be animal string. Yeah, for example, like black horse, like this. Okay, so right then the main program is going to call the procedure read data, right then call output items 4 times, right then just test and take a screenshot. Yeah, and I think right that's the last one. So let's just try this then, see if it works. Right, so we want to call read data. Right then let's go. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, okay, right. So we're not going to need to output this. Right, so if we just go, yeah, is it where output item? Right, why does it not like that? Okay, right. Well, since I should have made it static. Yeah, otherwise we can't call it right from the main method. Right, and then let's just call that 4 times, and yeah, let's try this. All right, see what happens. Right, so pink hamster, blue elephant, white eagle, and yellow rabbit. Now, if we just look at this, let's go to animal. So yeah, the top one is hamster, right? Then the color, yeah, pink. Then we get blue, white, yellow. So yeah, blue, white, yellow. Then animal, we get elephant, eagle, rabbit, and yeah, elephant, eagle, rabbit. And just thinking about it, well, of course, I mean, we've tested, when it's working, but let's test right when there's no animals, right, or when there's no colors. So, I mean, what you could do, of course, you could just go here, right? You could go to, yeah, I guess animal data, right? Copy this, and for example, call it animal data 2. But to be honest, I think I'm just going to edit this one directly, right? Since it's, yeah, kind of the end of the video. So let's see here what we have, like 3 animals. Right now, let's try running this again. So of course, it should say no animal on the last one. Yeah, okay, right, this says no animal. Right, well, I guess, right, then let's go colors. Let's have maybe 2 colors like this. So I guess on the 3rd time it should say no color, and then the 4th time there should be no animal and no color. Yeah, and then that should, let's just have a look. That should then, yeah, I guess, of course, right, I mean, it's not going to push any of them back. Yeah, since, of course, this one is also going to be empty. Right, so let's just try run this again. Yeah, so we get no color, and then, okay, so thinking about it, actually, right, this does make sense, and the reason it's saying no color twice, right, and the reason it's not saying no animal is because, if we have no color, right, and the animal string, is not equal to an empty string, right, then, of course, it's just going to push the animal back. So, for example, if we go here to the color, where we only have 2, right, let's say then on the 3rd time, the 3rd time we don't have a color, but we do have an animal, right, therefore, of course, yeah, this animal is then just going to get pushed back. Yeah, that's why, right, it's never going to say no animal. Now, if we actually have it let's say we delete this, right, now we've just got 2 colors, 2 animals. Yeah, let's just save this again. Right now it should say no color and no animal, and I guess, yeah, it should say that on both times. Yeah, so here we've got no color and yeah, I guess no color, no animal. Alright, so yeah, I mean, hopefully this is making sense. Alright guys, so again, I mean, hopefully this video is useful. If you have any questions, then just ask in the comments. And yeah, see you again in the next video.